there, my name is April Sawtelle and welcome to my channel. Today what I'm going to be doing is just a quick little tutorial about how to use Fusible web. So Fusible web you can use for applique, patches, anytime you want put a piece of fabric over another piece of fabric and make it stick. This adhesive will make it stick. It's like an iron-on. So today we're going to be working with iron-on adhesives, which is the Fusible webbing, and it's got the paper backing. So you're going to need some fabric. These are this base, we'll call this yellow the base, and these little ones here are the ones I'm going to be using as the pieces I want to adhere to the base. So what you're going to need for this, I've got an iron, your iron and mat, I've got some scissors, a marker, I've got my heat and bond, and my fabric. Okay, let's get started. So first what you're going to do is you're going to take your piece of heat and bond, which I have here, and what we're going to do is you're going to place the piece you want to adhere to this piece of fabric. You're going to want to put the wrong side on the side that has the glue. So this is the side that has the glue. There's paper on the back. You can feel all the little bumps in it. Go ahead and put your wrong side of your fabric to that. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut around this just roughly. I'm turning mine into a circle. So I'm just going to cut that right out. Piece to the glue. I am still, even though this has a paper backing, I'm still going to go ahead and use a piece of paper. It's just a piece of parchment. So now what you're going to do is you're just going to follow the instructions on your Fusible webbing. My Fusible webbing says to go ahead and use a hot iron, hold it for 2 seconds, and move it. So you're just going to move it like, you know, a couple of seconds. You're not going to like iron it. Mine says no steam. Some say use steam. So be sure to read your instructions before you go and do this. Okay? I'm just going to let that set for a second and get nice and cool so it's not so hot to handle. Now that is all adhered to my Fusible web, all I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this out now. I don't want it to be a square. I want it to be a circle. So I'm just going to rough cut a circle here. Okay, there's my circle. Now I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give that a little score, just ever so lightly, just enough to rip that paper but not go through my fabric. That's going to give me a good edge to tear the paper off with. Now you can see that glue is all stuck to the back. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to place that on top of my fabric wherever I want it to go. And then I'm going to give that a press. Again, that just says hold down for a few seconds. Just pick your iron up and press it down. Now, that's totally adhered to my base fabric. When I did mine, I used the Heat and Bond Ultra Light. So that's a very light fabric. So what I'm going to need to do now, I'm going to need to sew around my circle to keep that from not peeling off later. But it's nice. It'll get me to my sewing machine. It's right where I want it. And I'm going to do a small zigzag stitch all the way around this. You can use any stitch you want. I just went around this with a very small zigzag stitch. You can use any stitch that's on your sewing machine. It's just got to secure this down more than the ultra light heat and bond. So now all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a piece of fabric, I'm gonna lay this down. I'm still on my ultra light heat and bond. Now I'm just gonna cut this out. All right, now I wanna make sure I don't see that heat and bond on the outside of my fabric. Just go ahead and give this a press. You're gonna hold your iron down, same as we've done before, couple of seconds, pick it up, couple of seconds. You don't wanna iron it too much because you don't wanna distort the fabric. You're gonna wanna let that just get, so you can touch it because it's pretty hot right now. Then you're gonna take it. This one, I wanna do the letter L. So whenever you're doing letters or things that have direction, you have to do it in mirror image. You have to do it reverse, because if you do it the right way, it will show up the wrong way on the right side. So I'm going to do the letter L here. All I'm going to do, I'm just going to draw this out the wrong way on the paper. And then I'll cut that out. There, now it's the right way. I'm going to give that a score. Now I'm just going to press that on using the same method that we did before, and that will just hold that right in place. Okay. Same thing. I'm going to go and I'm going to put a small zigzag stitch all the way around that. Now I've got both of these sewn on. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and use my Heat and Bond Ultra Hold. This one is going to be a little more stiff. This is really good for patches on jeans, on applique that you're not really going to be wearing. So this one says with a medium heat, and it also says no steam and don't sew it. This one you don't need to sew. This will stay on by itself. So let's go ahead and I'll make a couple of little hearts with that. So all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just put my fabric down here. I'm gonna give it a little cut. And now I'm just gonna press that on. I've turned my heat down to medium. No steam. Okay, let that cool. Now what I'm going to do, I am going to make a couple of hearts. Now just peel off all that backing, and I'm going to lay my hearts down. Now remember, I don't need to sew these ones. I'm going to use a medium iron set on medium. I'm just going to hold my iron down here for a couple of seconds. And that's it. My little demonstration is done. So here's how it all came out. It's all nice and secured down. So that's how you use Fusible applique. And you can get that right on Amazon. Just remember that they have different weights and different brands. The ones I got, again, I got at Amazon, and I will link that on my page under my description. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time, and remember to keep it simple. Have a nice day. Bye.